Yeah. Silence holds secrets, but truth speaks louder. From the streets of Baltimore to the mountains of West Virginia, from real pain to real purpose, from the shadows to the spotlight, you just stepped into Blaze the Bingo Hall, where the stories hit harder than a chair shot and legends speak without a filter. This is where the real get heard, from the indies to the pros. Hosted by your boy Younglurch, standing at 6'6". He's built to handle the big conversations like this. No scripts, no gimmicks, only what's real. 100% raw conversations. And the haters, they know exactly what y'all can do. So duck the clothesline and catch the fade with Younglurch on Blaze the Bingo Hall. Younglurch in this bitch. 1, 2, 3. Flat on your back if you fucks with me. Yo, we got the scoop from the indies to the pros. 411 from the 410. Catch a elbow, catch a leg drop, catch a chair shot, catch a flare chop. Never gonna stop, gonna roll it up, y'all. We pulling up and blazing at the Bingo Hall.
Welcome into Blaze the Bingo Hall. As always, it's your boy Younglurch. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Today, we are joined by one of the phenomenons that's taken over the deathmatch scene and the wrestling scene altogether, Mr. Nino Extremo. Nino, I appreciate you for stepping into the Bingo Hall and blazing it with your boy Younglurch.
I appreciate you for having me, bro. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, man.
I'm excited.
Yeah, man. You've been all over the place. I feel like every day I'm seeing a new post about Nino and everyone, trying to put people in the game and, spread the word about you. So I'm sure you've been feeling it. Everyone's calling the name and they want to see you everywhere, man. So for fans who may not know you and be, maybe discovering you for the first time, who is Nino Extremo and where did your wrestling journey begin?
Nino Extremo is a kid that told Jaime Martinez, the promoter of local wrestling, a year ago, after a show, he didn't take me seriously. Nino Extremo is that guy that went up to the promoter, hey, bro, I'm going to be a wrestler one day. I'm going to be the next, I told him, I'm going to be the next Sick Nick Mondo of Loco. And he gave me the, yeah, okay, bro.
Yeah.
Everyone tells him that. That's who I am. And I pushed it, and I worked hard to do that, to do what I said I was going to do. And in the span of not even a year, I feel like I've done some big things. I've put my body through a lot. And it's because I want greatness. And, little by little, it's starting to happen, and it's very surreal. But Nino Extremo is someone that I feel like is old school when it comes to deathmatch. I'm a throwback. Some people have told me that. I'm a throwback. I feel like I am. I don't care. I fly. You if you don't see me, you will see. I mean, if you haven't seen me, you will see. They call me Air Nino too for a reason. I'm a risk taker, and I just love violence, bro. And I'm here to be great. I'm here to be great. That's Nino Extremo.
Yeah, I mean, here's a shot of you flying through the air recently, and yeah, man, it's crazy how much, like you said, that you've taken over, and I feel like it adds to that, like you said, that you have that old school mentality, that sort of like bleeds through and kind of, I think gives you an edge on a lot of people today that just think that they just have to, get a viral moment, or they don't really have to earn their stripes. But if you're looking at it like the old school way, then you're only doing it what seems to be the right way, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't know because they're not in the Texas scene. But if you were to look at everything I've done, all the matches and everything I've put my body through in the past year, it's a lot, and I take a lot of pride in doing everything that I do without a shirt, because that's what the greats of deathmatch did, and that's what they, said. Only real deathmatch wrestlers don't wear shirts or something like that. That's what Zandig said.
Yeah.
And I carry that, and I like being old school, brutality. It's what I love, bro. And I feel like nowadays some of those old GCW, old CZW matches are lost, bro. The brutality, and that's what I want to bring back. That's what people like Mr. Danger. I know he's trying to bring that back, and I know I'm going to see him soon.
Yeah, I know you called him out recently, and then
I've called him out.
Yeah, and then just the other day you were announced for GCW. So whether that's the match that they give you or not, we'll see. That's a big. There it is, man. There it is, right there.
It's
So
surreal looking at that flyer, bro.
yeah, man. It's real, bro. It's real, man. You're earning your way, man.
Crazy.
It's crazy that you said that it was only a year ago that happened with Jaime. I thought it was maybe a few years ago when you were like maybe a younger kid, but man, that everything's.
I don't care what people think. It's been a year, bro. It's been a year, and yeah, that's all I gotta say. I trained for a good amount of months, couple months before I had my first match. And my first match was in my backyard with Primo Cut. He took the chance on me, and it went on from there. My second match after that was against Aerocrab, the first out of the 4 that we had, which was the first Can't Kill Texas for Loco. And, it was a real shock, that match, because I really questioned if I wanted to do it. I got set on fire. I lost a lot of blood. Everything for just a month being in the business, because people saw how hungry I was, and there was a couple people who were like, all right, well, Aerocrab's pretty good, are you hungry, you want to get thrown in there with him?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I do actually. And we just went from there, bro. It's been a crazy ride, a crazy ride.
So was doing death matches always on your radar, or?
That's exactly what I started training for.
Okay.
When I started going to wrestling school, and everyone would ask me, hey, everyone's trying to be on Raw or on whatever over here for Texas or WWE. I never wanted to do any of that. I just wanted to do deathmatch, and I told everyone from the start. Everyone always looked at me crazy. I'm super young. I shouldn't do that. Blah blah blah. But that's what I want to do, is deathmatch from the start.
Hell yeah. So, similar story to Dread. He said the same thing when he got into wrestling. It was always the goal was to get into deathmatch, no matter what anybody told him, or I'm sure they try to change your mind, or like you said, tell you you're too young, or But at the end of the day, if that's what you want to do, man, it's like you gotta go for what you want. Can't be living for anybody else.
It's my dream, bro. It really is.
So growing up, obviously, I would assume you were a deathmatch fan. What were some of the wrestlers or moments that made you fall in love with it?
Well, Sick Mondo stands out, number one.
Okay.
I got into deathmatch a little later, if I'm being honest. I started just watching ECW and stuff like that. I was always into the extreme stuff. And my favorite wrestlers were RVD, Sabu, Jeff Hardy, the main 3. But if we're talking about deathmatch, when I started watching it, it was Sick Nick Mondo, it was JC Bailey, Thumbtack Jack. I love Thumbtack Jack. Jun Kasai, the Nick Gage, fucking who else? I'm forgetting the main one, Danny fucking Havoc. These are guys that I fell in love with. Why? Because they're skinny like me. They're not the biggest guys, but they're the ones that are putting their bodies through the most and giving the most amount of punishment back. It doesn't matter what size they are. They're the fucking big dogs in the fucking death match, and those are guys that I look up to,
For sure. When did you realize that it was something that, you didn't want to just watch and that you actually wanted to do it? I mean, I know you said, was it going to the Loco shows that was like, all right, this is where I want to be, or this is,
It was a couple of the last shows that I went to. I just remember, honestly, sitting in the crowd, being kind of disappointed with some of the outcomes of the match, and just being like, bro, like they could do more, like they could go harder, like bro, like I could go harder, thinking like that, and it was moments like that, conversations with people in my life, like, hey, you know, you've always talked about it. Why don't you fucking pull the trigger on it? You know of a school that's close by, you know? And I was like, you know, you're right. And then everything came together one day. Fucking I got a tube broken on my head, and I was like, oh my god, that shit doesn't hurt. It doesn't nothing. I'm not scared. I'm ready for that. And it was in front of a little crowd, so I broke it on my head. Everyone went crazy. Those 10 seconds, I fell in love with those 10 seconds that people were going crazy for something little that I did.
Yeah.
You know.
So you also mentioned you know, it always being the goal. Were there any like detractors, like they were telling you those things, like you said, that like, hey, like, you know, you're too young for this, or, you know, you shouldn't do this, or you should go, you know, go try this or that? Like, was there anybody that really stuck out, like in those early months, or, you know, whenever you tried to make that goal come to fruition?
Bro, I don't even want to give them the I don't even want to mention
Yeah,
them.
you don't have to say any names if you don't want to.
I'm
Yeah,
just saying that because, man, like, fuck them. But I don't even want to mention them. But
yeah,
everybody, not everybody, but most of the people in my old job that I used to work at, don't work there no more. But yeah, I went through a lot over there. Fucking, I used to work with my ex-girlfriend there too. And just a whole lot of shit happened. And once I started doing deathmatch, and once me and her broke up, everyone really started switching up on me. And they would always, every time I would come in excited to work, you know, hey, look, this and that. And they're like, just like, bro, like, they would just bring my whole mood down and tell me that I'm stupid, that why am I doing that? You're too young, and this and that. And little by little, I just learned to come into work and just be quiet. No one, like, I'm not gonna show no one my wrestling shit because they don't understand, you know.
yeah.
They don't see the vision that I see, you know. And yeah, so those are the people that really stand out. Also, and yeah, I left my job with my manager telling me like, oh, we don't think you're fit here to be a cashier after working there for a whole year, you know. And it was because of the death matches, because I was always on my phone. I was checking what's going on. My arm started little by little getting scarred the fuck up, and you know, my manager was on my ass about that. And I was just like, bro, fuck all of y'all. You know what? Yeah, I'm not fit to be a cashier worker. I'm fit to be a deathmatch star. That's what the fuck I'm fit to be like. And I went home that day hurt, but at the same time I went home that day thinking I'm gonna show everybody. I'm gonna show them. You know, like, that's pretty much it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's crazy how like those pivotal moments like that can, you know, shift the whole mindset. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you let them kind of like drag your aura down or whatever, and it's like, nah, fuck that. Like, you know what you want to do, and you know, like I said, you go for it. So,
yeah. But
what kind of mindset do you have to have walking into the, you know, a deathmatch environment? Obviously, I feel like it's a, you know, a raw scene. You know what I mean? Even more than just, you know, any pro wrestling match or a show.
well, I go in there very nervous. I'll tell you the truth. Before the match, I'm always nervous.
Okay.
And I mean, it's real, bro. It gets very real in there. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. And I do get very nervous, but once I walk out the curtain, it's like I've been there all the time. My whole life. All the nerves blow out. And I don't. It takes a special person, you know. There's definitely have to be something off about you. I feel like there's something off about all of us that decide to constantly go out there and do the things that we do to our bodies. But it's just, you know, we're different to everyone else in society. We have that thing that we love that, you know, it doesn't gross us out. It doesn't scare us. Yeah, we're going to pay the consequences in the future, but we love it, you know, and that's what makes us different, bro. That's what makes people like me and every other deathmatch wrestler different. Because I'll be honest, bro, there's this after the show that Loco had in November, up until the first Can't Kill Texas, I'd be itching in my bed, like waiting to bleed. I crave it, bro. I crave going in there and going to war. And honestly, it's like a therapeutic session for me, bro. I get out a lot in my death matches from the things that are going on in my life. to it's a whole lot, and it's I get a lot out in my death matches, and every time I get out there, it feels like it's a therapy session, and I love it.
Yeah, it's definitely amazing to hear things like that, because it's like a lot of people, do relate to what you just said, and have that same sort of feeling and moment when they're in the ring and able to kind of leave everything else that might be going on in their personal life behind, and kind of step outside of things for a little bit.
Yeah,
Do you remember the moment, I guess, that fans started really realizing that Nino Extremo was legit? Because I feel like just in the past, like, let's just say month, for example, I mean, you've checked a lot of boxes just within this month that, with what you've done and what you have to, come up for you in the future. But do you remember the moment when people were really starting to, put your name on the radar?
It's Lil Sicko. It's my match with Lil Sicko. I've done a lot of things, but hands down, people started taking me seriously after my match with him, because they saw the match I had with him. They saw that we could both wrestle, because it wasn't just swinging light tubes, and it was, if you go back and watch that match, we did a lot of first time moves, me and him, that we've never done before, because we were able to, because we're of the the size. We could do a lot with each other. I can't do the things that I can do with Sicko, with Aerocrab. I can't pick him up like how I can pick up Sicko. So we worked in the ring beautifully together, and I'm really proud of that match. And that match, I was working on a lot of things leading up to that match, like I don't know the exact name. I think it's the Arabian moonsault. When I like jump off from the outside of the ring to the inside, bounce off the ropes. Jeff Hardy used to do that shit. That's where I got it from his prime days. I worked on that for a good little while. There was a couple things that I was working on, and I was keeping it on the low just for that night, to bust it all out on that night, so people could see, like, holy shit, this kid could wrestle and he goes hard in deathmatch. And he stood there and he went at it with Lil Sicko, someone that's a top dog in the game right now, And I hang with Lil Sicko, so that means a lot to me, and I gained his respect. And after that match, I feel like that was a turning point where people started taking me seriously.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, you definitely went all out. You guys definitely left it all out there, and I think even he said at the end that you were able to hang with him. And I know sometimes that's really played out at the end where people try to I say sometimes it feels like fake flowers, but that seemed like a legit moment where you guys kind of just tipped each other's hat to each other.
It was legit. He didn't shake my hand at the knee. Said, "Hey, bro, I'm not gonna shake your hand like everybody else, but I'm just gonna tell you earned my respect and you can hang." Simple as that. That's all he had to say. He didn't have to say that, but he said that, and for that, I'm forever grateful. I'm forever grateful for Sicko and his whole family. Great people, awesome meeting them, and yeah, I'm just forever grateful for him and for all of them, because they all took care of me that night. They were all, like, I've met him before, his girlfriend too, super nice, helping me get the quills out of me. And I just can't thank him enough, because Sicko taught me a lot that night, and he boosted me with that match to, where I am now. It helped me a lot.
So I know there's some wrestlers out there that they won't even do the quills or anything like that. Is there any lasting effects from getting stabbed up with some quills? Or
so a lot of people didn't see this, but I had a quill stuck in the side of basically my ass, the side of my ass. It was in there for 2 days after the match. Damn. The whole thing. Nothing was poking out. The whole thing, fucking side of a toothpick.
Jeez.
And at first, my whole side and ass was bruised, so I couldn't really tell where the exact point of pain was until 2 days later. The bruising went down, and then I can only feel the pain at a certain spot. I was playing with it. I kept lifting my leg. I couldn't lift my leg, and in 4 days, I had my match. With Redacted, it turned into Mickie Knuckles. But in 4 days, I had a big match, and I couldn't lift my right leg at all. And I was freaking the fuck out. And yeah, I was just playing with it all day until I finally like I felt a stabbing, you know, and it hurt. I screamed and everything. I'm like, holy shit! I think I just found it, you know. And I was playing with it, and I finally like really poked it out of my skin. I'm like, fuck, this shit's not coming out unless I cut it, you know. I called my mom. She's not coming home for like another 5 hours because she's normally the one that helps me take the glass out, take everything out, clean me up, everything, you know.
Yeah.
I call my mom. She's not coming home for another 5 hours. I'm in a lot of pain. I'm like, fuck. I go on Instagram Live, and I did it by myself. 10 people joined that live, and I kept
Damn.
I kept that reel. I kept that reel on my Instagram for like 2 hours afterwards, and it got like 300 views. Not a lot of people saw it, but the people that saw it saw it.
Damn.
It's in my archives. Maybe one day I'll put it back up. I'm here. I just grab a razor blade, like from razor boards. I literally grabbed the razor from the razor board that I took against Mickie Barber. I cleaned it off because it still had my blood on it, and I was like, "Fuck it, we're going." I cut it. I pushed. Nothing, bro. I cut again until it was big enough, and I finally grabbed the tweezers and I kept pulling and pulling. Then someone in the Instagram chat reminded me, "Hey, bro, you got to twist and pull." And I was like, "Fuck, they're right." So here I am. Now I'm twisting and pulling, and it finally comes out. I have the quill over there. I'll show you, bro.
Yeah, let's see it.
I kept it.
I was gonna ask that next.
Yeah, bro. I have to keep stuff like that.
Yeah.
There it is,
man.
Here it is compared to a toothpick. I mean, it was in there, bro.
Yeah, and that's what it's like. And who knows what else that, you know, might be doing to you, you know what I mean? Like inside of you, you know, because it's like, I'm sure that, you know, I don't know how sterile they are once they, you know, I don't know where people get them from either, you know what I mean? Like, they're harvesting porcupines or something? Like,
I will say,
Amazon or something.
I think they were from Amazon. But I
would believe it.
I will say, after doing both toothpicks and quills, I much rather have quills because
they're stronger.
They're stronger. They bend. They will not break. And the toothpicks will break. My mom was tweezers taking the toothpick tips out of my head. You know.
Yeah.
I have a video of that too. A lot of people didn't really see that toothpick spot. I feel like because it was at the end of the match. We were swinging the toothpick bat at her head, and he swung it so fast that you can't really see, and you know my hair. But I had a good amount of toothpicks in my head. Same goes for Sicko.
Yeah, that match was definitely an emotional roller coaster. You guys were just, it was like 0 to 100 the entire time, you know, like, so yeah, a lot to digest.
I cut that promo before the match, being very specific for the quills and the toothpicks because I feel, in my eyes at least, Sicko. I asked for Sicko because he's the craziest motherfucker in my eyes right now. He's the one doing the craziest shit. And I was like, I want to prove that I can go with him and I can do the same shit that he's doing. I don't give a fuck. Bring the quills, bring the toothpicks, you know? Yeah. And that's what I told him, and that's what we did. And you know, I feel like that's what people are recognizing that I, you know, I'm about this shit for real, bro. And I'm going to keep proving that. You know, keep doubting me, and I will keep proving it. And that's going to be the same thing in the tournament of fucking survival. Watch.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens in June, man. Definitely be rooting for you. Definitely, you know, waiting to see, you know, you take over. Let's talk about the Texas scene though. You know, you mentioned the Texas wrestling scene. How important has Texas been to your career?
I mean, everything, bro. If I didn't move to Texas, because I used to live in Miami, bro. I lived in Miami until I was 17. And then I moved over here not too long ago. And I was depressed as fuck when I came over here. Nothing going for me. But if I didn't move over here, none of this would have ever happened. So it was destiny to come over here. I feel blessed. I feel blessed to have the group of people that I have because I was just talking to Jaime yesterday about this. I had to go talk to him. I went to his house and we were smoking blunts too because it's fucking crazy, bro. And I told him, hey, man, I will forever be grateful for you and for Loco and every opportunity that you guys are giving me because you guys see the things that are happening right now. You guys see where I'm going. And I'm not going to forget where I came from. And none of this happens without you, Jaime, and without the opportunity and without all of y'all. And forever grateful. local wrestling made Nino, and I will forever stay with Loco. You know, I'm gonna
shout out to Jaime.
Shout out to Jaime, one of the most underrated promoters in the fucking game. He can't give enough flowers to me, Jaime, because none of this happens without him, bro. To really believe in me, he believed in me, and he gave me that push because he saw the hunger and he saw that, you know, I'm willing to do a lot of things that a lot of people aren't willing to put their bodies through, and he saw that. And you know, still at the end of the day, it's a blessing that, you know, it's me. And there's a lot of hard work and everything, but at the same time, I'm blessed, bro, because Jaime gave me that opportunity. So local wrestling means a lot to me, bro. The Texas scene means a lot, and my motherfucking young pillars. Without them, same thing with Primo Ka. I have to give him his flowers too, because he's the main one that he pulled the trigger on me. Who is this kid? You want to have a match with me in my backyard? What? But he did that, you know. And everybody, all of the pillars are coming up little by little, and everybody is little by little starting to notice and recognize that the pillars are becoming undeniable. All of us, Marty, Mickey, and Primo, and me, we're becoming an undeniable faction here, bro. Because we're taking over the Texas deathmatch scene, and little by little we're gonna spread out, bro. We're gonna branch out.
So when you did first approach Jaime, and you know I guess you guys didn't know each other from at that time at all?
When I approached Jaime, it was just I knew like Jaime knew me as a drunk fan.
Yeah.
That was it, bro.
Yeah.
Like I was just one of those young kids in the crowd turning the fuck up, and everyone knew me because of that. 'Cause I was always super turned. Yeah, and I just became close with everybody little by little just by going to shows, and it just became just like, oh, you know, Jaime knows me, I know him, you know, we go to shows together, we smoke blunts there every now and then. That's it, bro. It was all it was.
So from there until you started your training, when did it become like a serious, like he's okay, now he knew you were really trying to do what you said you were going to do?
Okay, so everyone came for my birthday party with Primo. I invited everybody, but no one was really taking it serious, bro. Even after the match, I knew I could, by the things that people were saying, like people were impressed. But at the same time, like specifically Jaime, he had to see more. He had to see way more. You know, I asked him, he's like, you know, it was cool, bro, but I'm in the backyard. You know, like, you know, Jaime's used to real wrestling. You know, and I knew I had to do way more to prove myself to Jaime. So. I'd say it was after. I mean, it was after my second match with Aerocrab. My second match ever, but my first time with Aerocrab. After he put me through that pane of glass on fire, and everyone saw the things he did to my back. I don't know if you can pull that up. It's because it's all the way down in my Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't know that my back looked like that. Because it's all the way down there, bro. It's from after that first match with Aerocrab. It looks like a bear destroyed the lower half of my back, bro.
Damn.
And after that night, I gained everyone's respect. And Jaime literally, right after the match ended, he's like, Aerocrab, we're going to see you at the junkyard. And Nino Extremo, you can see him in November in X-Brand, Fear and Loathing, whatever. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I just, what, bro? Like,
damn.
And that was crazy to me because I remember when that deathmatch weekend got announced, and I remember talking to my friends like, bro, how crazy it would be if I would be on that shit. But yeah, whatever, bro. Like, it's not gonna happen. Fast forward a month, there I am, announced for the show, and it was surreal, bro.
I'm pretty sure that's when you got first put on my radar as well. That same weekend, and then I've been following you ever since, man. So it's like it's cool to watch. You know, you know, people are like, oh, watch out for Nino, he's the next guy, and it's like here we are, man. You're doing it. You're doing everything that you know you're probably setting out to do, and if not more, you know, you about to check some major boxes coming up soon. Like you said, you started off with Aerocrab, and then recently. You just won the Loco Deathmatch Championship from Aerocrab, so kind of a full circle moment there. Would you say?
Yeah, bro. It's It's crazy that one match turned into the rivalry that we had, and it was such a good rivalry. A lot of people were so excited because of the fucking build-up that went into it. You know, we fist fought each other in the ring, and that was a shoot fight.
Yeah.
And yeah, bro, it was a lot of emotion into that match, bro. And just like you said, it's a full circle moment that I started with him. You know, he ended up having that title later on, and I ended up winning the title from him to finish that story out. It's full circle moment, bro. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And shout out to Aerocrab. Out of everything I've said, thank you to everybody. Aerocrab is the person that has taught me the most in the ring, mentally, physically, everything. And he's the one that fucking baptized me, basically. Gave me a new fucking asshole that night, bro. I swear to God, bro. I almost passed out I was in my bathtub on my knees in my boxers, on my knees against the wall. My mom was sitting there freaking the fuck out. Every 5 minutes, she was coming in with a cup of orange juice.
Just trying to keep you up.
Second match in, bro. Like, I was passing out, and everyone was freaking the fuck out. That's what Aerocrab did to me. And, you know, I love him for it, bro, because I don't regret any of that. I love and I'm super proud of all those matches. And I'm grateful for Aerocrab for everything he's taught me. He's very underrated, bro. Very underrated.
Yeah, that's you know, being able to get put to the test that early on, it, you know, makes you, you know, really be able to gauge where you're at in your career now, you know, and be able to take those next steps in your career. Yeah, because it's like you went through the thick of it in the beginning, so it's like, you know.
Yeah, bro.
And you know, like I said, you're starting to check some of these boxes, and recently you just debuted at Circle 6. How did that opportunity come about? I know we were talking before that. I feel like let me see if this is right. You showed up, you had some of your stuff, kind of, not really, and they asked you to wrestle, and like you said, I think you posted something like even in the Jordans, you know what I mean? So is that what happened? Did they ask you to wrestle spontaneously, or?
That's basically what happened, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
So Necro put out a good word for me, which thank you, Necro. He was there, Zona 420. He saw my work. You know, I talked to him afterwards. You know, he's like, "You're doing good, kid."
That's a good Necro. That's a good Necro.
And yeah, and we're there. We're picking up Necro from the hotel when we get to Austin, and we're talking, and he just looks at me. So you want to work tonight, kid, or what? And I'm like, I didn't bring my gear. Which, bro, that's the thing. I always bring my gear. That's the one thing all the veterans tell me. Always bring your gear. And I know that. I always bring my gear. If people were telling me that in the back, I just let them. I was hearing it. You know, I'm not going to talk back like, yeah, I know, bring my gear. But in my head, bro, I was like, today was the one day that I came and I just wanted to chill. You know, I wasn't really trying to do
have fun.
You know, I was just trying to go have fun and be a fan, you know. But when you have Necro telling you that, when you have Dread, because I'm getting to that. So yeah, he asked me if I want to work. I'm like, yeah, I'll fucking work, bro. And then he's like, all right, well, let me see what I could do. We get to the show. We're sitting down. Dread comes. First time I'm ever meeting Dread, by the way. He's a super nice guy. He comes up, says hi to everybody. Oh, what's your name? Nino. Nice to meet you. Oh, you're Nino. The fact that the Dread goes, oh, you're Nino, fucking blew my mind.
Hell yeah.
You know, oh, you're Nino. What's up, bro? Yeah. You know, I've seen your work. You want to work? Literally right after he said, oh, you're Nino, 2 seconds later, oh, you want to work? And I was like, bro, yes, if you got wrist tape, that's what I replied. You got wrist tape? Then he's like, all right, yeah, bro, I got you. And he's like, come on. Just like that, 5 seconds in, he stands me up. We walk outside, and he's like, can you jump off that? And I'm like, yeah, I got you, bro. Let's go look up. And then that's it. That was it, bro. I went up there, checked out the spot a little bit. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to have to do this in my Jordans. I didn't bring shit.
Yeah.
That was it, bro. I put on wrist tape, and I took off my shirt. That's how I wrestled.
Yeah, that's gnarly, man. That's what I kind of assumed because I know, like I said, we spoke beforehand, and you were like, "Hey, man, I'm going to Circle Six, and going to go hang out." I was like, "That's cool, man." And then I seen what happened, and then I seen your post about in the Jordans too. I was like, "I bet you that they asked his ass to wrestle that night." Yeah, that's tight.
bro. My Jordans got me all messed up, but it's okay.
Yeah, got you. Yeah, got the Jordans messed up, right? Yeah. So I guess the Jordans can be replaced, and you would trade that for that moment anyway, right?
Of course, bro.
Yeah.
Of course. I'm just messing with it. I don't give a fuck about the Jordans, bro. That moment was awesome. The fact that I got that opportunity, it was cool as fuck. And I think that's the highest I've ever jumped off of too. It was a pretty good jump.
Yeah, and I think that's another one of those full circle moments. You know what I mean? Like you said, you showed up and they asked you to work, and Dread recognized you, and it's like because you're putting in the work, man. And it doesn't just happen. You know what I mean? It isn't like they just ask anybody to come wrestle that night. So that's definitely another full circle moment for you.
Yeah, bro. And chilling with Dread afterwards, he just pulls up his phone and he shows me one of the edits, and that's you, right? I'm like, yes, that's me. Like, what? That's cool as fuck. They like he knows, like he sees.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, bro, I've seen it. I've seen your work. I'm like, bro, hell yeah.
Yeah, I had interviewed him here before too, and really enjoyed that interview. Really, really down to earth guy. So yeah, he's one of the ones that I'm rooting for on the scene to take over, and I think he should get more bookings than he gets at now anyway. But
definitely,
yeah.
And it sucks that he just got in that car accident. Hopefully, Dread.
Yeah. Shout out to him. I've seen that as well. That's terrible.
Yeah,
it seemed like his whole car's total. It seemed like.
Yeah, bro. So y'all definitely, the community's got to help out Dread right now, bro.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Dread. Reach out to him, buy some of his merch. I know he's putting out some merch. So, but yeah. So you were mentioning Lil Sicko. I know we've talked about Aerocrab, but Mickie Knuckles is another one that you got to fight in that same weekend. Like you said, originally it was supposed to be Dr. Redacted. Now, whether he was ducking, he was scared, he was scheduled for surgery that day, who knows? But it seemed like he was ducking the fade from Nino. So yeah, and you had some choice words for him after that match as well. So you got to go toe to toe with another deathmatch legend like Mickie. What was that like?
Honestly, bro, look, I don't know the real reason why he didn't come. We'll see. I know I'm gonna see Redacted very soon down the road. And we've talked about it, and it's okay, bro. Hopefully it happens in a bigger stage. It's fine that it didn't happen because either way, that opened up the doors for me and Mickey Vargas to have a lot more shine that night. No disrespect to Dr. Redacted. Great worker, great. I look up to him. I've told him this. One of the best right now. But Mickie Knuckles is a deathmatch legend, And to go from Redacted to Mickie Knuckles, that whole night I was stressed out. Who the fuck am I gonna work? Am I even gonna work? Whatever. And then I get Mickie Knuckles. It was honestly, bro, I got way more nervous. I was nervous, and now I'm like 10 times more nervous, bro. Cause I know Mickie was coming to whoop my ass, and that's what she did. She fucking kicked my ass, bro, and I had to take it, and I took it, and she was awesome to work with. One of the easiest matches I've ever worked too. She told me, "Watch, kid, like I'm gonna whoop your fucking ass, but it's gonna be one of the easiest matches you've ever worked." And I was like, I bet. I'm excited, and it was a really fun match. She kicked my ass. What I was gonna say that it opened doors up. So because that happened, I got to wrestle Mickie Knuckles. Boom. And then because that happened, Mickey Vargas ended up getting to wrestle Lane Bloody the following day. So it was a blessing for both of us. We both got to work deathmatch legends, and Mickey Vargas deserves that because he's just as crazy as me. Mickey Vargas can't do the things that I can do in the ring for obvious reasons, but if he could, he would.
Yeah.
And that motherfucker is just as crazy as me. And watch out for Mickey Vargas, bro. Because have you seen the match he had versus Anthrax?
I seen the lead up to it and some of the highlights, but I haven't seen the entire match.
You have to watch that match.
Seen it. Yeah.
That was the match of the night. That was the
Really?
match of the night. Yeah, bro. Hands down. Hands down. He did some crazy shit. And he had like a whole like fucking chunk of his body missing right here, like chunk missing.
Damn.
It was gnarly. But yeah, it opened the doors up for me and Mickie to have those matches with Deathmatch Legends. And it was pretty good, bro. In the future it'll happen with Redacted, but I'm happy with the outcome. It was good for both of us.
Hey, everything happens for a reason, right?
Yes, sir, bro. Exactly.
And you know, like you said, you do get nervous before matches, so that switch up to okay, no more Redacted. Now it's Mickie. I'm sure, like you said, the nerves got a little bit more intense, right?
Yeah, bro. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I was so fucking nervous versus Mickie. Like, I remember her walking up to me and like her entrance music hitting. I'm just pacing in the stage. Like, oh fuck, bro. I was so fucking nervous. And she went up there. Man, I've never felt that before. And I feel like I was so nervous throughout the match to make sure that I was doing good and keeping up with her, that like I wasn't all the way there in my head, and I was criticizing the fuck out of myself after the match. I thought I did terrible, bro, because I was overthinking the whole match. Like, well, fuck, did I do this right? Did I do that right? Damn, is she okay with me doing this? Is she okay with her doing that? Did I pick her up right? Like everything.
Yeah. Second guessing everything.
Yeah, bro. And after the match, I was disappointed with myself, bro. And up until I went to go talk to her, and she told me I did great. And then I see the match back, and obviously I still criticize myself in the match like a motherfucker, but I did good. You know, compared to what I was thinking that night, I was just so nervous that it didn't let me think.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, it was a crazy, crazy experience with Mickie, and she took care of me, and you know, she was fucking flirting with my mom the whole weekend.
I did see her post about that. She said something about your mom's hot, and I'm gonna steal your mom, or I'll be your new stepdad, or something like that.
Crazy. Mickey's sitting on my face. She tells me after the match, "I'm sitting on your face the whole time I'm making eye contact with your mama." And then my mom, she's just laughing her ass off. My mom was just having a blast.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
You definitely held your own too, though, man. You were definitely giving it back to her because she was trying. That's what I think she was trying to pull out of you, and she does most people. You know what I mean? When she's got to try to put somebody to the test. It's I even seen one part of it where she was like, "Fight back, bitch." You know what I mean? Like she's trying to really pull that side out of you. So yeah, I think that makes for some of the best matches. Where you guys are able to be that comfortable with each other, even though, like you said, you were kind of second guessing yourself. But I think that that's just how we are as humans in our own head sometimes. You know what I mean? Versus like you said, how it actually came out to everybody else. So
yeah, and she's tough as fuck, bro. Just gotta add that on there. I know that's already known, but I was just like, wow, because we're talking before the match. Tell me a little something. I'm like, all right, well, the spin kick. Everyone's seen the spin kick.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, all right, I don't like talking about too much about this shit, but I'm like, all right, fucking put your hand up, and she's like, I'm not fucking putting my hand up. I'm like, all right, okay. I kicked the fuck out of her, bro.
You did.
I feel bad.
Yeah, you did. That's one of the moments I was talking about. It was when she was against the wall, right?
Yeah, bro. If you really watch that clip back, there's another angle. You can see her head bounce on the fucking wall.
Yeah.
Gnarly.
Yeah. Yeah, she's she's another one I've interviewed, and she described it as like she just I guess feels pain different than other people, and she just has a whole nother tolerance pain level for it's crazy. Some of the stuff she does, yeah. Out of those three matches though that weekend with Mickie, Sicko, and Aerocrab, which one of them you feel like you got pushed the hardest in?
Sicko.
Okay.
I was put through the most amount of pain with that one. I was, I had to really wrestle with Sicko, like just the shit after, because it felt with Sicko like it was a back and forth, like I had a big moment, then he had a big moment, then he, and we were just fucking going to war, and at one point, it did feel like that with Aerocrab. Like, he was just fucking me up. But I don't know. It was just different with Sicko. Like
Kind
I put
of like you.
yeah.
Kind of like you were saying that you guys are similar in size, that you're able to do a little bit more or different things that you would normally be able to, with a bigger guy.
Yeah,
So
bro. It was like my
yeah,
mirror. Like,
yeah,
I swing fast as I swing tubes fast. Pah, and he come boom. Okay, here we go. Like, we got the same
yeah.
rhythm, same momentum, same timing. Is you go, I go, you go, I go. So it was head to toe, bro. It was pushing me to the limit for real, bro. That was a test.
It was definitely it seemed like a natural chemistry. I'm sure it kind of felt like
Yeah,
that for you. Yeah.
yeah. A lot of nerves going into that one as well. And all the nerves went away once I just talked to Sicko for 2 seconds. Great
Yeah.
guy. Great guy.
Kind of
And
calm you down a little bit.
hell yeah, bro. And just I see a lot of myself in him. I want to be like him. I look up to guys like that because of everything I already told you. Like similar style, similar physique, everything, similar mindset. You don't give a fuck. And it's the same thing with him. Yeah.
So another moment that transpired out of that match, there was a moment in the crowd with Zilla Fatu, who was there in attendance. And yeah, man, it doesn't get any more, I don't know, I guess viral or, real when he's, giving you your flowers and like, commending you after the, that type of, war that you had with Sicko. What was that like for you, man?
That the Zilla is kind of like what happened with Jaime, but we just grew that friendship off of just being at the shows together, talking. He knew me before I started wrestling. He was like, "Oh, what's up, Oos?" Yeah, I know you. At least I think he would remember my face. He would always just call me Oos.
Yeah.
But like, "Oh, what's up, Oos?" He talks. I'm like, "Come on, Oos. Yeah, what's up?" So that's how the relationship started. But eventually, I started wrestling, and that's just the Houston scene staying together, bro. Everyone in Houston shows love to each other, bro, and that's what it's all about. I feel like when people come and visit Houston and they see the vibe that is over here, they're like, "Wow, bro! I wish that wrestling can be like that everywhere because there's no drama over here, bro." When you go to a show to a local show, all the vibes are good. Everyone's supporting each other, and that's the way it should be, bro. Wrestling is a brotherhood, and that's what Zilla shows for me, bro. He doesn't have to show all that love, but he just sees that I'm someone from Houston starting up. He remembered my face from a fan before. Oh, Nino this, Nino that, and he saw my work in November when I did all that. He replied. He replied to one of my stories with some emojis. Like he wasn't saying a lot. It was just fire emojis, but that was a lot to me, and that's how
He
it
just let
started.
you know.
It just let me know that he was watching. He was watching,
Yeah.
and he knew. And yeah, and then we started posting all that stuff, and he hit me up and he said, "Hey, bro, I'm gonna be there for Can Kill Texas too." So we thought he was gonna be there versus Mickey Vargas, but something happened. He ended up not pulling up, which is fine. But I guess like that was it. Like he told me he was gonna pull up eventually. He was gonna go to one of my shows, and he decided to go to like the best one, at the best moment too, because he wasn't there throughout the whole match. He got there right as I put Sicko on the apron, about to hit that skateboard, and
Yeah.
bro, that moment was insane because I'm already thinking in my head like, all right, I'm sorry, Sicko, but I'm about to come with 110%. And then I see Zilla like, turn me up, Nino. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm sorry, I'm going 20,000%. Like, and I hit those ropes and I went, fuck, oh my God. And he went crazy. And I haven't seen Zilla that turned up in a while, bro. It was a really cool moment. And I after I hit that, I'm like, holy shit, did I just kill Lil Sicko? And I looked at him, he's moving. All right, we're good.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
that was definitely a cool ass moment. I mean, just to see how he was commending you backstage after the match too, it was like, wow, that was one of those moments that like, damn, that was cool that it got captured,
Yeah, definitely. They captured what they captured what they should have, because we had Zilla's really real because he was like, all right, y'all got what y'all wanted, but y'all put these fucking cameras down. And then he told me some real shit, man to man.
Yeah.
And that's what's up,
Hell yeah.
A lot of
That's
love from
awesome.
Zilla, and I really appreciate that, bro. He doesn't have to show that, and he still does.
Yeah, it's awesome that you guys have a good group of guys in your area that seem like you guys all want to see each other succeed and do well versus, it could be like the crab mentality where everyone's trying to pull each other down and not see anyone do well. So it's good that you guys, iron sharpens iron and, you're able to, like I said, push each other to the next level. So it's awesome.
Yeah, that's the way it has to be. That's the way it should be.
Yeah. You also mentioned Necro Butcher. What's it like being able to sit under the learning tree of someone like Necro Butcher and pick his brain?
Man, oh, that picture, yeah, bro. It's it's just really cool. It's surreal seeing him, bro. It's because it's hard. It's hard not to fucking mark out, bro. Like Jesus, like it's Necro,
Yeah.
but it's I don't honestly, bro. To answer, whenever Necro talks to me, I just shut the fuck up and listen. Eye contact, and that's all I can do, bro. And yeah, I'm like, yes, sir. Like,
Oh, yeah.
he didn't talk to me much that weekend, other than when he was asking me if I wanted to work and stuff. And then we had a cool moment in the back too. Everyone's in their own little circle. He's seen me just like I wasn't on my phone or nothing. I was just concentrated, because we were about to go on. And he's like, "Hey, kid." He goes like that, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I walk over, and he's just like, he shows me the blade. He has a razor blade, and he doesn't say a word. He just starts cutting it, and he just starts showing me, like,
Yeah.
a gig. He just starts showing me how he does his gigs, and I didn't say a word either. I was just
Locked in.
in, like, yes, sir, I understand.
Hell
And,
yeah.
we have cool, funny moments like that with Necro, where he doesn't say a word, but he's teaching me something,
Yeah. Yeah, it goes back to like you're saying, you have that old school mentality, and he for sure has that old school mentality. So it's like, trying to, pass on what he can while he sees someone like yourself coming, on the up and coming. So yeah, that's awesome. Is there any other advice that maybe he's given you that stuck out, or is it just like some of those unsaid moments like that where he doesn't really have to say much? That
it's been just moments like that, and then I forget exactly what he said in the weekend of Zona 420, but he told me something about, like, he remembers seeing the clips of me fighting Aerocrab, like fist fighting. And he just said something about, like, oh, like, whenever you get in the ring with me, you have to work on that jaw. Like, he's gonna knock me out, basically.
yeah.
It's just shit like that.
Yeah, he's been KOing a lot of people lately.
Yeah, to be honest with you, bro, I haven't had a lot of moments with Necro where he's really, like, sat down and talked to me and for a long time just trying to teach me stuff. But I've had little moments like that where like the razor blades, stuff like that, where he's talking to me, or just very simple. Because I went up to him after the match, all bloody, like, so Necro, advice, how'd I do, and he's just like, you did good, kid. Now get the fuck out my face.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, that's all I needed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's enough, he's definitely he does his own thing, man, for sure. And he's another one that I wish would get more bookings and be at some more places. And who knows, maybe we might see him defending that title, at some unlikely places in the future too. We'll see. And of course, he is IWA heavyweight champ, and you're going to be making your debut there, and that's in June as well, right?
Yeah, that's 2 weeks after TOS.
So that was actually announced first. So that was another a moment, or another company to spread your awareness and show them who Nino Extremo is, right?
Yeah, bro, that was a really big moment from, not too long ago I was watching the Carnage Cup documentary and all I was watching was Kevin. And then I have Kevin in my DMs and I was just surreal. Surreal. A really cool moment, and I'm very excited for IWA. And to go back to Florida, where I was raised. So that's going to be really cool. Hopefully a lot of my people from Florida come to that show and see Deathmatch for the first time.
Yeah, definitely. Get to see bring it back to the home state and have the hometown crowd supporting you if they haven't seen you. Will that be your first time wrestling in Florida?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. And like we said, you called out Mr. Danger. So whether we get to see him at TOS or I think he's announced for TOS as well, or maybe it's Dr. Redacted. Who knows who's really willing to fuck around and find out with Nino Extremo. But people are on the radar and he's calling the shots, so he's gonna be around. And I'm gonna pull it up one more time because it was just announced the other day as we record this.
Oh my
There
God.
it is. There it is. There it is, man. Look at it. It's looking good, man. June 6th. Come and see your boy Nino. He's gonna be at TOS. He's gonna make history. So yeah, man. If you aren't a fan or you don't know who Nino is, you better get in line, man. So it's been a pleasure having you. If you got anything you want to plug or you want to let the people know where you're at or how they can find you, let them know.
My Instagram is n.i.n.o_extremo.htx.
Hell yeah. I nailed it. I nailed it that time. I nailed it. I fuck people's handles up sometimes, but I nailed it.
There you fucking go. The reason it's like that is because my shit's gotten taken down so many times, so I gotta fucking switch it up.
Oh, damn.
So there's that. Local wrestling, Butt Smokers Only is coming up April 18th, if I'm not mistaken.
There we are.
There you go. Houston, everybody has got to pull up. This is gonna be, the next big deathmatch show of the summer, And the match that I'm gonna have will be announced very soon. Everyone's gonna be very excited for that one, so people, please get your tickets for that. I'm gonna be dropping new merchandise soon with Texas Deathmatch Syndicate, so I'll be dropping that soon. And that's pretty much it, bro. TOS coming up June 6th. IWA 2 weeks after, June 18th. You see, I don't remember these dates too well, but yeah, that's pretty much all I got to plug, bro. And go check out the motherfucking Young Pillars.
Check them out.
Because it's not me, it's me and the Young Pillars that are coming up. That's my squad. Those are my people, and I'm gonna take them all with me. It's not just me. We're all coming up, and everyone is becoming undeniable in the Young Pillars, and that's got to be known.
Fuck yeah. You've heard it here. And Nino, I appreciate you for stopping by and blazing with your boy Younglurch. And until next time, we'll have you back anytime you want to come back for a follow-up when you've checked all those boxes and you've whooped all those asses that are on the radar. So I appreciate you for stopping by. Until next time,
for having me, bro.
See you at the Bingo Hall. Anytime, brother. Peace. Appreciate you.